Today we're going to talk about how to overcome suffering in 2 steps. But first, let's define what we understand about suffering. What is the difference between pain and suffering? Because there's a difference. Pain is the experience that we have. It could be a physical pain or emotional pain. It's an experience that we feel maybe once. If this is emotional pain, probably it comes as a shock after, for example, a heartbreak. So we feel pain. But suffering is the narrative, is the story we tell in our minds about that pain. You know, suffering is, for example, saying to yourself, I always end up in this situation. There must be something very wrong with me. I don't know why I'm getting into that. That is actually suffering. So there are different ways to deal with this. And one of them is radical acceptance. What is radical acceptance? Radical acceptance is accepting things as they are, without trying to change, without trying to control them, without trying to run away from the experience. That is radical acceptance. It's definitely an effort that we need to be able to accept things as they are. What I'm sharing with you today in this video is based on this book, Radical Acceptance, Embracing Your Life with the Heart of a Buddha by Tara Brach. I highly recommend this book if you really want to get to know more about radical acceptance. It's all here. It's a wonderful book. I read it a few times, and I'm sharing this with you because I think it's very, very important to have this information. So, well, according to Tara Brach, radical acceptance has 2 parts. One is mindfulness, and the other one is compassion. When we talk about mindfulness, what do we mean about it? Mindfulness is being present, is having the capacity to stay at the present moment without judging, controlling, or anything. It's like becoming aware, for example, how our body feels at the present moment. Let's give you an example. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you get ready to go to work, and you open the door to get outside. And as soon as you open the door, you feel the temperature outside, you feel it is cold, it's warm, it's windy, there's some humidity in the air, there are sounds. That is becoming aware, and mindfulness allows you to stay at that moment just feeling. So the first thing about mindfulness or seeing clearly is to be present and embracing the experience that you have at that particular moment, or moment to moment as you go, in your day, right? And the other part is compassion. And the two of them, they need to go together, hand in hand. What is compassion? Compassion is not self-pity. Compassion is, let's say, for example, you are feeling sad and you're maybe grieving because you just, went through a heartbreak and your heart is broken and you're feeling terrible, terribly sad, normal. So you just acknowledge what you are feeling, all the sensations, everything, without getting into the narrative, without going into the story about it. And you just get intimate with whatever you're feeling, like a mother holding her child. So for this, you become the mother of your own child. So you are these 2 parts. And you embrace yourself with care and with love, without judging, without getting into the story or the obsessive thinking about what things went wrong, what happened, why this is always happening to me. there must be something very wrong with me, or he was a very bad person, etc., blah, 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 right? So compassion is really important because so many times we try to change ourselves when we don't like ourselves, when we are feeling bad, because we feel that maybe we are becoming very weak, maybe we didn't judge the situation when we have the time to do that. See? By being present, you're not jumping into the past or the future. You're just here now. And when you stay at this particular moment without judging, without blaming, without trying to control anything, then the next step is compassion, is feeling love for yourself, it's giving love and care to yourself, to the one who is suffering, without becoming the victim, without feeling that you are a victim. You just feel the way you feel and you hold yourself. You know, imagine that is your child that is sad because he had a fight with a friend. Of course, we try to, comfort, saying things, but in this case, you are comforting yourself, accepting how you feel without trying to judge or change anything, and being present, holding yourself as a child. So these two things, they need to go together. Seeing clearly what is happening and caring and giving yourself love for that. It is maybe one of the best things that you can do, because when you practice these two things, mindfulness and compassion, you're going to get into a place of balance. And you're going to see that, in a couple of days, even in a couple of hours sometimes, you may feel much better because you're not fighting, you're not resisting, you're not, adding more into this loop that we used to talk about, when you have a sensation and an emotion, and then you start thinking about, and then and your thoughts create more feelings and emotions, and that goes into this loop, this never-ending loop that usually make things even worse. Well, what do you think about this? Well, remember to subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know, how are you doing with this? Do you like these videos? And if you like these videos, share this with your friends, right? I always like to read your comments, so remember to do that. And you can check out my previous videos about conscious relationships and how to love consciously. That you're going to see the link in this video next. Well, I hope this was helpful, and see you next time. Always, at your service. Namaste.